Hello, everyone. Welcome to the fourth episode of the PokéSells Official Podcast. My name is Roc Mitchell. I'm your host, and today I'm here with the amazing Roc Sandy. Some of you may already know him. He does a lot of great content, and so would you just mind introducing yourself and telling us how you got into this hobby?
Of course. Hey guys, my name's Roc. I'm pretty the exact same name as his, actually, just shortened version. But yeah, I do
awesome.
I do majority drama content, commentary, and I started YouTube just by doing openings. Really, I feel like every single Pokemon channel started by doing Pokemon openings. But at a certain point, I was like, this is getting too expensive. So I was like, I want to say my opinion on certain topics. So hey, maybe I should do videos on my opinion. That's a good idea. So that's what I started doing, and that's the rest is history, I guess. But that is how I started doing content.
Cool. How long have you been doing content for?
Oh man, I think since I made my channel, so about like 3.5 years, I would say.
Nice.
Yeah, so quite a long time. Quite a long time, indeed. How long have you been doing content?
I've been doing content, so I started my Instagram in June, and then I started this channel like a month ago, like mid-October.
Nice, hell yeah!
Probably had my first thing.
That's
so
awesome.
Yeah, it's been really fun. It's just kind of right now it's just like the podcast, and then doing clips of the podcast and selling. I just sell singles and like bulk and stuff like that. So just that type of selling. And I had a piece of gum in my mouth and I didn't realize it was there. And yeah, so pretty much just doing it for since the summer is when I really started getting into it. So yeah, I've been doing it and it's fun. It's really fun. I enjoy it, and it's crazy how long, not how far, but you can do so much in such a little amount of time. Like I've already talked to people that I would have never imagined myself talking to them, but I shot a DM or shot something, and it was just like, hey, would you be interested in doing this, or just putting myself out there, and it's just like it kind of attracts it like flies.
It is crazy how this community is it's very welcoming, very supportive. Obviously you're gonna have your bad eggs, but that's just with every single community. Yeah. But I kind of experienced the same thing, and it's kind of cringe to say this, but everyone feels like friends and family. It's very awesome. I don't think any other community that I have entered, made me feel this type of way. Made me feel this welcomed, and just has really just amazing times, amazing memories. Did you go to Card Party by chance?
No, I haven't gone to Card
this
Party.
Year?
No, I haven't.
Dude,
I have not.
You should go next year.
I've only been to one convention. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'll have to put that on my calendar. When is it?
So it's in two different places. One is in Tampa, Florida, in June something. I forgot exactly which date. And then the other one is in Seattle I forgot the date, but maybe it's in October-ish, or correct me if I'm wrong. Somebody in the chat. Obviously not this chat, the comments. But it's really, really fun, dude. I highly, highly recommend. Probably one of the best times I've ever had in this community, for sure. Yeah. I got to meet so many of my friends that I've been wanting to meet for so long. And I caught all these other conventions like Collecticons, they're good. Don't get me wrong, they're good. But when you don't have somebody to share that experience with, it's kind of like it's you know what? It's cool. You get a few vendors here and there. You see Jason Page singing the Pokemon theme song. Yeah. So it's a nice time, but if you don't have somebody to share that experience with, it's pretty lackluster. So that's why I really like card parties, because I got to meet so many cool people as well for the first time, and people that I already know. So definitely recommend doing that, man.
Yeah, cool. I'll definitely look into it. I have some family in Tampa. My family's originally from Miami, so we have some family that went up to Tampa. So I'll have to go in June. That's summertime, so that'll be very nice.
Yeah.
That's really
Florida,
cool.
baby.
And the same thing. Yeah. That is the same with me, where I've only gone to one convention. It was a local convention called the National. It was a pretty big convention. I didn't realize how big it was. and that's where I met people I've done business with, or people that are like mentoring me I've met through there. And it's just like you said, like super welcoming. Everyone's just like, oh yeah, sure. And I was talking to some people about it, and it was like, if I wish I had the courage to do what you were doing at your age. So the fact that you're doing it like just makes me want to support you more, type thing. So like it's really cool.
Speaks volumes. I mean, like, this community
Yeah.
is so great. I think I got that kind of the same thing. Like, you know, I'm glad that you doing content at this age. That's amazing. Like, I'm really proud of you. Like, people like I like literally met like 1 minute ago. I'm proud of you. Okay, Dad. I guess.
Yeah.
I didn't know I had another dad.
Yeah. That's so. One of the things I was going to ask you was your favorite convention. So Card Party. Last year, which one do you went to? One in Tampa or Seattle? Well, I guess you're in Florida, right? You told me you're from Florida.
Yeah. So this year there's only one. There's only one this year, and it was in Orlando, Florida, I should say. And it was a really easy drive for me. I mean, I live like 2 hours down, so I was like, freaking yes, dude! I can't believe I got this lucky. So we just did a quick drive there, and geez, I gotta say it was such a fun time. I honestly regret not spending even more time, just hanging out with my friends. Like I it was on Father's Day as well, and I'm like, I wanted to spend time with my dad at least on Father's Day, at least a couple of hours. So it was a little bit awkward. So if it's not on Father's Day the next time, I'm definitely going to be spending even more time, with all the other people, all the other, at the card party itself. So, but yeah, it was a spectacular time. My only regret is just not doing more and not talking more with more people, to be honest. I think that's a good regret to have.
No, that's a great regret to have. That's really, really cool. So obviously I'm more of a normal seller. You are more of a content creator. Well, I don't know. I assume you sell cards. I know you have a binder company, which we can talk about now or later. But well, yeah, let's talk about that now. So you have Card Prison, your binder company. You guys just did your second drop. I have not picked up my binder yet because I wasn't picked up a binder. No, okay, listen. I was gonna pick up a binder, but some people in my community, like my school, were offering me their collections. So I was like, do I buy the binder? Like I have like this thing, like $20 on Amazon. I have some other Ultra Pro stuff, but it's like, do I like buy the collections and then flip that and then buy the binder, or do I buy the binder then flip it and buy the collection? So,
bro, trust me.
I don't know.
I'll send you one for free.
Really? I mean, if you want, I would love to pay for it.
Hey, I'm sure we can work it out.
Yeah.
But yeah,
something I really...
It is. Yeah. So sorry, you go.
No, sorry. Something I love about your binders is that they have top loader stuff. Like for example, something like this, which is it's actually funny. A friend of mine gave me this today. It's like his childhood binder, like just all these old cards. And I was just like, he gave it to me, and he was like, Rocco, I want you to grade it. I'm like, okay. So I looked through it, and there's not really anything gradable. I'm sorry, E-Man. But so I'm gonna give it back to him whenever I see him again, and I'm gonna be like, yeah. But it's just like stuff like that is, that's like the kid phase. Once you start getting like a little more professional, you have to have something protected, and top loaders are great. So I love that your binder can hold all that stuff. So I definitely appreciate that your audience is great.
Yeah, I was surprised that there was no binder on the market that fits both of those things, top loaders and regular sleeve ones. So I was like, I was contacting like these manufacturers and all the time, and they kept on saying, nah, can't do this, can't do that. I was like, bro, this can't be that hard to do. I mean, there's you all you have to do is take a top loader binder and just put some smaller binder pages in there. It's really not that hard. And then I ended up finding some place, and I'm really glad. It started out with just a joke, actually, a little behind the scenes of the conception of Card Prison. I was just talking in the chat. I forgot whose chat it was. It was probably 026 Gonzo's chat. And I was talking with Opossum Bud, and we were just making fun of how sleeves and top loaders were pretty much a prison for your cards. So I
Yeah.
was like, dude, card prison, that's not a bad name for a binder company, bro. Imagine if a
Hmm.
binder company named that. And I was like,
Yeah.
holy shit, I have an idea. I might not have a
Yeah.
brain, gentlemen, but I have an idea.
Yeah.
So that's how it started. And it was honestly, it was tough, but a lot easier than I thought, just
Mm.
making everything happen. It was just very impromptu. And honestly, that's the best thing to start your dream, is just don't think about it. Just do it now,
Yes.
and just don't be afraid to do it. And I think that is honestly the
Yes.
best way to accomplish your goals. Don't think about it, just do. And then after you finish it, you'll look back and it's like, hey, wow, that worked. Wow, that's kind
Yeah.
of surprising. Like just
Yeah.
be fearless in a way. Yeah.
I no, that's awesome, and I didn't even. Yeah, that's really cool. Your whole story about it, and yeah, definitely binders they are kind of a prison. So that awesome
Yeah,
name.
yeah.
I'm surprised it didn't exist before. But something about pursuing your dreams. Yeah, just go for it. Really. About a year ago is when I started like getting really serious about my stuff and like kind of getting all my stuff together and starting like like doing some workouts, and now I'm like a complete gym freak. But
Hell
getting
yeah.
workouts and yeah, getting workouts, how to get some bread, get some money, and just like really get into routines that would set me up for a fruitful life. And that's true, and you just got to go for it. Starting. I interviewed Jesse Ping last week, and he said starting is half the battle. Even though it sounds cliche, it's true. So yeah, just
That's
starting and
facts.
doing that. Yeah, and that's really cool that you're able to do that. What was I going to say? So you had your first drop. So how was the whole process of like getting that? Obviously, you talked to the manufacturer, but after that, how was it like promoting?
So promoting, I was very lucky, to be honest, because I've been doing content for a long time previously doing this,
Hmm.
and there's a lot of generous people who are willing to promote the product without even, no strings attached. They just wanted to support me, like my good friend, Opossum Bud. He doesn't
Hmm.
even want any money at all. He just, hey, give me a creator code for my fans, so they could, get a
Yeah.
percent off, and would do it. We'll call it even. I was like, dude, what a freaking goat, man. And then
Mm.
cool trainer Ryan as well.
Yeah.
He said, yeah, dude, I'll promote it. He did it in a live stream.
So
I
good.
got a lot of sales from that as well. And I'm like beyond thankful. So I think I was very, very fortunate to have a lot of different individuals who don't mind supporting me. I just couldn't imagine myself being a person with that just got into the hobby, no experience, no nothing, no like not a lot of connections at all, and try to start this business from the ground up. That would be very, very difficult. That would be very
Hmm.
difficult. So I'm very fortunate. But when I got the binders first time, I think it was a print one of 100. Um,
Hmm.
and unfortunately, about a good 20 or 30 of them had some sort of printing error where the logo in the middle had some smudges on it.
Mm.
So I was like, ah, no. I spent like so much money just doing this, and then it was just smudges, but good thing like 70 or 80 of them were fine. So I was like,
Hmm.
okay, well, I guess the drop is 80 now. So
Yeah. Even more limited.
yeah, even more limited, exactly. Limited edition, first edition.
For real.
So yeah, I started selling them. They sold out in the middle of a couple days. It was fantastic. And then
That's awesome.
I think later on, a couple of months after that, I still had like 20, 30 binders here. And I was like, bro, this is taking up space. I don't know what to do with it. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to put it at a, price reduction, or not a price reduction, at a sale.
Hmm.
And I'm just going to sell it off for like, I don't know, $15. And so I ended up selling out again the small drop of the
Yeah.
not so good binders, I guess, the
Yeah.
printed errors,
Yeah.
the error binders, the miscut
Yeah.
OC binders, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and yeah, and then I gotta say, it's unfortunate that it takes so long to do another drop. Like that was like a
Hmm.
couple months ago, that since my last drop. But it's just how things are shipping from China. Just
Yeah.
going through the process just takes so freaking long. But yeah, hopefully we could kind of speed it up. So that would be definitely a good thing on my end. But yeah,
Yeah, no,
everything's looking good so far.
cool. That's awesome. And no, that's true. Like, you know how there's like miscut cards, or like how there's like error
Yeah,
cards, and they'll go for crazy amounts. Like you, like, oh yeah, get the error binder for
yeah.
really cool. Something, a little side note, but something that I've been looking into um is like PSA 1 cards. And it's funny because people will sell like a PSA 1 card almost identically to the same price as a PSA 10. So it's like, it's kind of funny how, or not maybe identical, maybe like 80% of value of PSA 10.
Mm.
But like, it's
Yeah.
just how funny how like the opposite ends of the spectrum like get the same amount of credit. Um, and I understand from like China and all that stuff, that is definitely an issue with all that type of stuff. And because I've done other or tried to start other business things online, and one of the things I looked at was like drop shipping type stuff.
Mhm.
And yeah, no, distributors can be a pain, and international
Oh yeah,
shipping and all that stuff. Yeah, it can be such a pain with all like the files and all just everything. And something that I love
definitely.
about, because I sell on eBay, something I love about eBay international shipping is you just have to buy the packing slip, and just slips out, like you ship out, and
Yeah.
that's it. All the customs, everything's taken for you. But that is really, really cool. Yeah.
Speaking about the PSA 1 things, I think Opossum but just made a video about it recently, but
Oh, really?
it is kind of funny how PSA 1s have this like almost like a fan base of people, but I
Yeah.
never really got it because I mean, like, theoretically you could make a PSA 1 very easily just by
Yeah.
crunching the card a little bit, like,
Yeah.
oops, I dropped my card. Hope it doesn't become a PSA 1.
Yeah.
So I always found it a little bit odd because objectively it is easier to get a PSA 1 than it is to get a kind of more harder grade like a PSA 5, because if you do a little bit too much damage, you never know if you'll be able to fake that or something.
Yeah.
So that's if people are faking it. Hey, I'm not saying people are, but if
Yeah.
people are faking, I feel like it would be a lot easier to fake a PSA 1.
Mhm.
But it is very expensive. It's like the equivalent of sometimes even a PSA 8, which I always
Yeah.
thought was funny. But hey, if
Yeah.
people like to collect that, that's kind of cool. I mean, people like the
Mhm.
ones, I guess, like 1 and a 0.
Yeah.
People like that.
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, I guess that's true. That's facts. And I was looking at it for not even I'm in like well, I don't know if I can say this because it's not before Christmas time, but or I guess I can say, but I'm in a Secret Santa with all, like, I'm from Nashville, so all of the Nashville sellers, we all have like a Secret Santa going on. And I was looking for a PSA 1 for my person because it's kind of funny, because it's just like, oh yeah, I got you a graded card, but it's not a 10,
Yeah.
it's a 1. And something about slabs, since we're on this topic, I think I have an idea for your next card prison. You should do a slab binder.
Bro,
I don't know if
you
that's
don't
already in the
understand.
works, but
The original concept was actually pretty much that. The original concept was like this. I want sleeve cards, top loaded cards, and slab cards to be able to fit
yeah.
in this binder. That's what I wanted to do, but for frick's sake, they just couldn't do it. And I want to do just exclusively a slab binder. That's definitely on
Mhm.
my top priority. But I was looking at what my manufacturer can do,
Mhm.
and I just did not like the way they were doing these slab binders. The sleeves itself look so bad. It's like it
Yeah.
looks all crinkly and stuff. Like it's not see through. It's not like a regular,
Mhm.
clear sleeve. And I was like, there has to be a better way. So I'm still in the pursuit of that. Hopefully, I'll be able to find a way to figure out how to do it. But that is such a good idea, and I can't wait to do that, especially with like the high quality exterior of the Card Prison logo with the
Yeah.
metal zipper. That's gonna be
Yeah.
peak.
Yeah. 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 Actually, an idea came to mind because I probably have like ADHD or something. I don't know. I'm not diagnosed, but my mind's always constantly firing, and I process while I think. So I just thought about, those like accordion things that like you put all your school assignments in.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, so maybe, so you know how people will have like the slab boxes where it's like a sealed box and they slab it, like, or it's with the
Yeah.
box and not a sealed, but it's where they put all their slabs in. Maybe making it to where it's like a box like that you can like a suitcase kind of, but you can open it up and it's like an accordion, and it has like pockets
shit.
for all your slabs. If that makes sense. So like one pocket can be one slab.
That's a good idea. Shit. Oh, you should start your own binder company too, man. No, dude, that's a great idea. I think I might need to steal that idea from you. Never know. That's a good idea. Shit.
Yeah, take it.
I'll give you royalties. Don't worry, I'll give you royalties.
Yeah. You're fine. I'm actually looking to send out my first graded stuff for a card show that I'm doing in February. I'm looking to
you're gonna do a card show.
Cards graded. So yeah, I'm vending at the one the first one I went to. They have one in February. They do it like 3 times a year. So I'm going to be doing one of that, and then we're planning another card show in May. So
that's gonna be exciting.
Yeah, you should come. The one in May is exclusively for like Pokemon and like Yu-Gi-Oh and those types of card games.
Wait, where is it?
Nashville? Yeah, Tennessee.
Oh, I don't. I've been there for I think a few months, in Tennessee, not Nashville, exclusively. Yeah, I've been all over the U.S. Florida, kind of goated still. I'll be honest. From all the places I were in the world, Florida, best place. Totally not biased.
No, I got, like I said, I lived in Miami for 8 years, so I feel that Florida is very, very nice place. But yeah, you should come up in May. You should come up
for sure.
Or February,
definitely.
But yeah, maybe have a little card presence booth.
It's not a bad idea. I could make it as an excuse to go down there. Just say, hey, you got to sell my binders. Got to go down there. But I won't be like, I can't travel anywhere by myself yet because like my parents are very protective, siblings, that type of shit. So I have to like ask somebody to come with me, and then I don't want to burden them to come with me. I'm like, but by next year, I think who knows? Maybe I'll be able to, just run away from home for a bit, sell some binders instead of doing some shady stuff like selling crack behind like a McDonald's or something. Why did my son run away? He went to sell binders at a card show.
Yeah. No, I feel there's a convention in Vancouver happening sometime, I think next year autumn, and I might be going to go see Jesse, who I saw last week, and because we're doing some other stuff together, so I'll have to convince my parents to let me go there. Hopefully, I don't even have my passport yet, so I'll have to get my passport and then just leave. But yeah, that's true. But
Vancouver, that's a long ass way to the top. Damn.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a long plane flight, man.
Yeah, it's worth it though. It's worth it.
Oh, for sure. No, that's gonna be worth it. The grind set.
Yeah. That's what we do.
Hell
yeah. But card accordion, not card accordion, but card binder accordion edition, slab edition.
I might have to do that. I'll be honest. Hey, quick question. What cards do you like? Oh, bet. What cards do you kind of like to collect? Like, do you have any exclusive cards that you like?
I don't have. Okay, so I'm brand new. Like, I'm brand new into selling. I've been collecting since I was 8, but I'm brand new into selling. And I'm mostly competitive. I play mostly competitive, so I guess if you call my PC, my brother and I's PC is our decks. That's pretty much all we have, and then everything else I sell. Just because since I'm new, I'm trying to liquidate my collection, get some capital up, and then invest it back into the business, and then keep on that infinite money cycle. But I like a lot of, I'm not like, there's some retro cards I like. What I like about retro is like early EX stuff. So like 2006, I like that type of art. Let's see, level X. Well, I'm thinking specific cards, but I love like the Snorlax level X. There's a Blastoise EX from 2006 I love. That's in a competitive deck from 2006, so that's why. But mostly a lot. Tag team. I love tag team era stuff. As you can see, I got one bind. I think I have I don't know where the other one is, but I have 3 Unified Minds binders.
Oh, peak.
And that's yeah, no, and that's because that's when I started getting into. That's like when I started really getting into it. And that's my memory. So Late Sun and Moon, like Unified Minds, Cosmic Eclipse are probably my 2 favorite sets. I'll probably need to master set them sometime in the future. But a lot of
Honestly,
that stuff, and the GX art is beautiful.
They're so good. Like I'll be honest, like what was it? Was it tag team? No, with the frick. With the Latios and Latios set.
Yes.
Was it called just tag team?
That's from Unified Minds. Oh no.
Okay.
Oh no, that's Team Up, I think.
Team Up. Oh my god. I don't know why I was like tag team, team up. I was kind of brain farting there. But
because there's 2 different ones. There's Team Up, and then there's another Team Up, Unbroken Bonds, and then there's Unified Minds.
Yeah, like those 3 sets. So peak. I loved it.
Yeah.
Unbroken Bonds was such a fun set because I distinctively remember this Enlisted Leaf doing a video where he by accidentally rips the Reshiram and Charizard GX Rainbow. It was just I don't know why it's just a core memory for me. It was man, fun times. That was kind of when I was also kind of just getting in, like 2016-ish. So it was great times.
My brother loves Evolutions, and then I like some of the X and Y stuff, but and I guess that makes sense because obviously we're like around the same age, so that's kind of when we started, was that era, and a lot of like, some people think that's horrible era stuff, but like that's just in the time. That to us is their like Heart Gold, Soul Silver, or they're like they're like E-Raiders or whatever whatever their childhood sets is. But I love a lot of that, like Cosmic Eclipse too, the like Nagandadel and Guzzlord, not the one that looks like it's an old Japanese painting thing, like that card right there is like crazy. It's nice.
Dude, they really started picking up. One of the first sets that I actually opened was the 20th anniversary. So that was like, I don't know, back 2015, I think. I think that
25th was 20.
No, the 20th vision.
No, but 25th was. When was 25th? That was 2021. 2022.
I think. Yeah, I think it was 2022. Let me search that.
So 20th anniversary would have been 2017, I think. I have no idea that.
Anniversary commit. 2016. Wow.
2016.
That was 20th.
Oh wait, you're talking about Evolutions.
No. So Evolutions was actually just another set. Actually, that was kind of like the part of the 20th anniversary celebration. But it wasn't like the actual 20th anniversary set. The 20th anniversary set is called Generations. So that's where they got celebrations. There's Generations and Celebrations. Celebrations is the one, the 25th anniversary. So Generations now, back in 2016, man, dude, honestly, I still think that is probably one of the best sets ever made. Like it is peak, dude. The amount of you get Radiant collections, kind of similar to Legendary Treasures. You have Mega Evolutions. You have dude, the Pikachu EX full art. There was just an unlimited amount of stuff in there, and I think that will be still one of the best sets ever created. I still want to get that Charizard EX box. That's what I want to get.
Yeah,
I think it's going for like $200 or something, somewhere along there. 250 maybe.
That's crazy. Are you which one? Oh no, not 2013. I thought you were talking about that one. You're talking, is it look like a bunch of Pikachus stacked on each other?
Yeah,
I see what you're talking about. Yeah, that's cool. Well, I was about to say it's only a $10 card, heavily played. It's $10. I don't know what it's going
that's
for.
where they get you.
I don't know what's
heavily played.
Yeah. Bro, TCG player is nasty like that sometimes, where it's like you look at a card and it's like, oh yeah, it's only $5, and then you see it's mod played, and then the actual like lightly played is like $30. And you're like, oh yeah, no, I'm not gonna buy that.
Yeah, definitely. You always see, like, when you're scrolling TCG player, he says you just like the biggest number is the lowest listed price.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, $10, that's not bad. And then you see the smaller number right below it, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
$200. Shit.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah. That's
But I mean, I guess if you're just doing it for the art, a little damage won't hurt. But there's something instinctual inside of me, that just wants a minty looking card. Like maybe it's my OCD, ADHD, LMNOP, whichever you like to call it. I just like minty cards. I just like it.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different with like I said, my PC's like collection. Like you get into like retro formats, like 2006 formats. Like an average deck, if you want to start playing that, is like $1,000. So that's when you kind of bite the bullet and you're like, oh yeah, it's sleeve playable. You know, it's like a heavily played, but you can still see what the card is in a sleeve. So you buy that for like, half off the value of what the actual card is worth. But no, for a PC or for like a collection, or if you're trying to resell it, definitely go for like the near mint or higher, the LPs higher is usually what I try to sell.
Do you sell on TCG Player a lot?
Okay, so my selling, like kind of my selling journey is my first card I sold was on TCG Player. And I have never sold a card on TCG Player since. I need to set up a store. I'm on Thanksgiving break right now, so I will be probably doing that this Thanksgiving break, to sell all my like playables and all that type of stuff. But I just sell primarily on eBay right now.
Nice.
Which
gotta
is
say,
fun.
eBay is kind of a pain in the ass too.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the amount of fees they take is ludicrous.
Yeah, that's literally what I was about to say. The fees are crazy. But and the shipping policy, I've been struggling for like a month to get my shipping policy right. I know which policy is the best one, but I'm trying to figure out how to incorporate it into my store, because sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So yeah. But and the fees suck, but it's just the most entry level. The goal is to do my own website probably within the year, if I get a big enough following, like kind of onboarding that to a website, and then possibly after high school and all that stuff, opening my own brick and mortar.
Do you plan on going to college or studying any like major?
Right now,
or just
no.
Nice.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna full send it because I'm smart. Like I'm a pretty smart kid, like all A student, but it's just not what I'm really looking into right now afterwards. Because I read a lot. I read a lot of books. So a lot of like the books that you read in business school and all that type of stuff, I've already been reading. So it's not,
dude, that's a great habit.
To look up a YouTube video. Yeah. And it's not that hard to find some college level advice, or college, like pretty much sales advice online on the internet, on YouTube.
Yeah. Hot take. So, like I generally think college is somewhat a scam, to be honest. Like I'll be honest, like 100%. the return on investment is just not there at all. Like you could the only advantage you have is, perhaps being noticed by, other companies if you want to get hired. But that's, I feel like right now, a lot of these companies don't even care about that. As long as you're good at your job, they'll hire you. So I feel like, wow,
it should be performance based. Yeah,
exactly. So you're basically paying what, 20 grand just for an extra 30% bigger chance of getting hired of what you want. Like I understand like the people that like generally need to, like doctors, doctor degrees, medical degrees, science, like all that shit. Completely understandable. If that's your passion, go for it, my man. Go completely do it. But on like people like, like me and like Rocco, like we don't, it's not something like that I personally would want at all. It's just I do so many other things I'd rather do. Like I'd rather keep doing my content, keep doing my business, keep doing like my novel writing and shit. So I that's just what I do. So that's why I think in some ways college is a scam, and I feel like families definitely enforce it a little bit more than they should. I feel like there's a lot less families who are open to the idea of maybe their son doesn't need to go to college or doesn't need to spend like $40,000
Yeah.
just to have this extra opportunity of getting a job. Like, I feel it's it's getting out of style almost in a way. I feel like there's a lot of more
Hmm.
opportunities. Maybe back in the day I could understand it because I mean
Yeah.
the online just did not exist at all. So
Yeah.
I can
Facts.
understand there was a lack of knowledge in that regard. So completely understandable. But I feel like now more and more people are not going to college. So yeah, that's my hot take.
Yeah. No, and I agree with that. The only thing for me, and also I see this through like a different perspective too, because I'm obviously like we're online a lot, like with AI and all that stuff. Like I don't have an editor, like, and I know obviously like I just run it like for a short form. I don't know if you do the same thing, but I pretty much will run it through an AI that will cut up the short form for me. I'll do some edits. Sometimes it's not perfect, but I'll do some edits and then I'll post it out.
Is
And
it Opus AI?
for no, I use CapCut.
Oh,
That's what
CapCut.
I use.
Nice,
I
nice.
have CapCut, bro. So yeah, I might look into Premiere, but I have CapCut right now. And
Nice.
no, but I agree with that 100%. And because of that, I have like another hot take, I guess, for me is there is like an accountant, right? Stable job, right? Or stable job, right?
Yeah.
That's something easy, 4-year degree. You're making, I don't know what, 80 grand a year, 60 grand a year being an accountant. In 4 years, and not 4 years, in 10 years, there's a computer that can do it for you. That's
Mm-hmm.
faster and that's more reliable and is more exact because humans have something called error.
Yep.
And that just doesn't, I mean, obviously it exists with a computer, but the chances of it is so minuscule, it doesn't really matter. And yeah, it's a hot take, but who are the people that are saying that? Two entrepreneurs. I sell cards, but I'm building a brand, so I consider myself an entrepreneur,
For
binder
sure.
owner, binder is there. We're two entrepreneurs who are already achieving, or not achieving, but pursuing that dream, right? We're already working towards that
Yeah.
goal every day. And that's just, I've experienced, even in my 6 months, I've experienced success. It's not a crazy amount of success, like compared to other stuff, but I know that what I'm doing now is going to pay like crazy amounts in the future. So yeah, and if the goal for me is, this is a crazy goal because obviously I'm still in high school. I'm a junior. I'm 16. You're 17, and this is like, it's kind of, I don't know if it's cheesy, but for graduation, because a lot of people don't know, like a lot of people know that I don't want to go to college, and especially at my school, it's kind of enforced since we have like a parent college, and I just don't jive with it well, and my goal, my dream, is to like at graduation just invite all you guys. Like my goal by then
Hell yeah.
is to be, really well connected, be like that next face, not the like super big creator maybe, but be someone that people know when they think about Pokemon. They think they know of my content, or I have a little piece of the pie in the space. And just invite all the guys
Yeah.
over, all the content creators, just have fun, and maybe I'll get a first gen booster box and we'll just crack it open and just a huge celebration. And then after that, it's like, okay, let's open the card shop, or let's continue doing content. Let's continue doing these things. Let's start making conventions. Let's just have fun with it. Because even though this is a hobby, it's also a business that can work and that
Yeah.
if you have a professionalism to it, it can achieve well. And what you're saying, like, there's 4 years, right? 4 years to get a degree. But you know what else is, or a piece of paper. This is also a piece of paper. It's not worth a lot,
Facts.
but it's still a piece of paper. It's a fire energy. I mean, what's fire? Charizard. Charizard sells for 325 grand. PSA 10 first edition, like all that stuff. I don't even know all the specifics of it, but I know that if I have a PSA 10 or a 10 of pretty much any of the 5 grading platforms, that card's worth a house. And people think that, and they're like, haha, like you're crazy, Rocco. But no, it's just, I know what I'm talking about. I know the niche, and
Yeah.
I'll end with this point, and then you can say something if you have anything. Earlier in, was it? Well, it's only Tuesday. I'm on break, so I think it's Sunday, or I think it's Friday when it's really Tuesday. So yesterday, I was talking to a friend at school, because they know that I do this. A lot of people at school know that I do this. I go to a small school, and I was talking to a friend about like all the percentages. I was buying a collection, and I was like, oh yeah, so I'm buying this card at 60% value, and I'm gonna then resell it for this, or blah blah blah, whatever. I was talking out loud about percentages, and someone behind me in class was like, Rocco, what are you talking about? Like, and they were kind of like telling me like that, and they were kind of like, I could feel by their body language that they were kind of like, Rocco, just shut up, like we don't care about this, like just be quiet, like we don't, like it does not matter. And I'm like, I was like, okay, whatever, screw you. And I did shut up, because it was like, I'm not going to cause a fight, I'm not going to do anything. But it's like, those people are the people that right now, like they're just the biggest hit, like they don't understand. But then later, when I come up, 5-year class anniversary, you just finished college, and I already have a business that's running. Who's laughing now? Like it's like it's that putting that little effort. I don't know if you have anything to say about that, but
No,
that's
yeah,
kind of
no,
like
100%.
take on
Hey,
that.
you got to show them wrong by showing that you're successful, pretty much. Like,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you can't really hate those people, because
No,
you just
can't.
you just kind of have to work in silence, that type of way.
Mhm.
Just show them off,
Exactly.
and I guarantee you those same people will probably come back and want to be all buddy with you once you're at the top. So hey, never stop pursuing your passions, keep going forward, and there's really nothing much to it. Like, you just start somewhere. You always have to start somewhere. It doesn't have to be perfect.
Yes.
It will never be perfect. Nobody ever started doing something that they enjoy or are successful at and did it good the first time. So I feel like failure is definitely a lot of it causes a lot of contention in someone. But I say, like, you want failure. Without failure, there is no success. So I feel like you should be striving for failure in order to improve what you can. And yeah, that's really pretty much it. That's literally how to succeed.
That's true.
Is just to have a bunch of failure.
That's a lesson to anyone watching this. It's not. I mean, obviously, we're just two teenagers talking about business. Like, we're not. We don't got 50 years of knowledge. We're not Gary Vee, or we're not. Hormozy, or all these people. Like, we're just two teens that are in it right now. But yeah, that's a lesson to anyone out there. And speaking about business, I know we were talking before. You had to edit a video about this. But scalpers. My goodness, I cannot pronounce that word right.
Like the scalp. So scalpers.
Scalpers.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. I got it. Yeah, scalpers. You can tell your story, or obviously it's Black Friday weekend here in the States, and I think worldwide. But you can tell your story, and then I have something.
So basically, I just did it. Yeah, I just did a video about scalpers and how, a bunch of people were, well, like one guy was specifically hugging this, sealed, I guess, display of Sword and Shield ETBs for $20. And obviously, incredibly cringe. I don't support it at all. I definitely do think there's some misconceptions of what's a scalper to begin with. A lot of people cannot define it, and if you really actually look close, the only difference between a scalper and investor is the time in which they sell the product that they are holding. So if you I always think about like the definition of what scalpers, flippers, and investors are, and I always felt like they were kind of closer than one might think. But regardless, I think people who disregard manners at all, tell a person to F off, and just completely ignore any human decency, and just pretty much take the fun out of everyone else. Because, no matter if you like it or not, a kid is the next day is going to go to the same Pokemon section, and they're not going to see any Pokemon cards. And although they might get it, they can get it online. Maybe their parents don't know how to get it online. Maybe the kid maybe that's the only way the kid knows how to get Pokemon cards. So regardless, it is creating a lot of damage, and I feel sorry for the people. However, I had a little bit of different outlook on the whole scalper situation because I'm almost kind of also fed up with this sentiment of people saying, scalper's bad, scalper's bad. It is just getting regurgitated so many times,
Hmm.
me included. I say scalpers are bad many times. I just did. But at a certain point, we have to kind of switch the blame onto something else and to actually solve the issue. For example, I think Target should step in. Target should put a limit to how many somebody can buy. And I think that would solve the issue completely. But instead, people like
Yeah,
to constantly attack the scalpers, which they deserve. Don't get me wrong. But if people were actually inclined to fix an issue, they would actually start by saying, "Hey, you know what? If we want to solve this, how about let's take a Target,
sure.
like make Target accountable, and make them solve the issue. It's really not that difficult." So I think it both go both ways. Like scalpers can be, scummy, shitty, whatever you like to call them, and also you could just tell Target that they're not doing a good job at all. But that's pretty
Yeah.
much, yeah, my kind of take, I guess.
Yes. I appreciate that. I'm so sorry. I have to use the restroom really quick.
No, you're good.
And I don't know if you need. I'll go tell my thing back.
No, you're good.
All right. Sorry, we're back. Yes. So scalpers. Yes, I agreed with a lot what you everything said. I have a story. I'm more of a
Yeah.
flipper, at least right now, and semi-investor. Not really. I have like one or two cards that I'm like holding for the long term. But I'm mostly a flipper right now, not a scalper, a flipper, because I don't have that much money.
Mhm.
And I have two stories. So one, there was the GameStop deal going on where it was $25 ETBs on Paldea and Fate
Yep.
or Paldea Evolved. And I was like, oh, this is perfect. This is great. I'll buy this for 25 right now, and then I will, in February I'll vend at the card show. I assume it's going to go up because the Magikarp's going like crazy and some other cards in that set. So like I'll hold it till then. I'll sell it maybe for 75, maybe 80, I don't know, whatever it is at the card show or online if someone wants it. I look and I tried to actually buy like 3 online, and I couldn't sign into my GameStop account. I was like, okay, cool, that's fine. I have a GameStop 5 minutes away. I know they have this deal going on. I'll go in and I'll go buy it because I had to buy some other stuff anyway. So I go in. All the ETBs are gone, and I'm like, were there any? And this I think was maybe the day after they were announced, and I went in and they're all gone. And I'm like, hey, were any of the $25 ETBs still there? He's like, nope, scalpers took them all. I was like, you guys didn't do
Jeez.
any you guys didn't do anything to do them? We're like, no, we were told not to. There wasn't really that big. I think they said like there was a limit of 15. 15 is still a heck of a number.
That's cool.
That's still a big number. If you buy, I don't know, let's do the math right now. If you buy 15 $25 ETBs, that's $400 that you're spending. About
Yeah.
$400. I mean, that's not a crazy amount, but still. He's like, yeah, scalpers took them all, and I was looking at some online, and now they're going for $100 each, and I'm like, great to know, buddy. That's awesome. I'm glad you know that, and I was mad, but I bought a pack and I opened it and I didn't get anything, but I recorded some content and I left. And then the other one, Target had the $20 ones, the Lost Origin ones, and some other ones that were going crazy. And I was like, oh, this is really cool. Let me, I already missed out on the GameStop one. I'm not going to miss out on this one. Let's go. Let's see what they got. And I was at work. I have a couple jobs, and the one I work on is early in the morning, so I didn't bring my wallet with me that day. And I went to work and I saw it online. I saw it on my phone. I'm like, okay, cool. Let me, I get off work in 10 minutes. It's like a 5-minute drive to my house. So, I'll get home, 15 minutes, I'll go see it. By the time I get home 15 minutes later, they're all gone online. And I'm like, bro, I missed out again. Like, it just pissed me off so much for the rest of the day. But it's like, it's those people that it's just like, I mean, like, I don't want to say those people because that sounds bad, but it's just, I get it where you're saying, like, that's my little 2 cents on what's been happening with the scalpers. But
Yeah.
it's crazy, bro. It's so crazy.
I had the
It's
same
annoying.
issue. Like I had it in my cart like a good
Yes.
3
Yeah.
times, and it just physically would not let me check out because the bots already took it. And again,
Yeah.
it's a pretty simple solution to that. There's definitely software to stop bots from entering your website and checking
Hmm.
out. Like, and again, all you have to do is literally put a limit as well online,
Hmm.
like maybe 2 or 1.
Hmm.
More importantly, just stop the bots, or at the
Yeah.
bare minimum, at online I could maybe understand a tiny bit, because there's bots are still a little bit hard, I guess, to stop, whatever. There's some kind of excuse for that, but in person there's no excuse. In person,
Yeah.
like, brother, just do 2 boxes per person. It is not that difficult. Put up a sign. Don't let somebody check out if they have more than 2 boxes.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says. It's that simple. And I feel like, again, people are like bashing scalpers again, which is totally fair. But at some point, you have to take some accountability in actually solving the issue. That's really
Hmm.
all you have to do. That's what Target has to do. And I feel like there's some Targets who are doing that, mind you. They are doing about 2 per person, but it's not widespread like it was at a
Yeah.
certain point. Like, at a certain point, all Targets stopped selling trading cards at a certain point for a
Yeah.
very
That
small
was
period.
crazy. I remember that.
Yeah, so if they could do that, you're telling me if a Target can enforce a mandatory law that they cannot sell trading card products, I think they can enforce a mandatory law that a person can only check out 2 items of Pokemon items. Like, bro,
Yeah.
it is not that hard. Please.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on it. But yeah, that's it's so cringe. It's so annoying.
Yeah. It is.
I always kind of like, but on like a little of a different note, I constantly think about the differences between, like, scalpers, investors, and what flippers are. Um, and I think
Hmm.
the reason why people are mad most of the time, because of scalpers, is because they are the ones doing the most damage. It's almost like if it's out
Yep.
of sight, it's out of mind type of deal. With scalpers, they
Hmm.
are going to a public space. They're being very disrespectful for everyone, to everyone. They are kind of disregarding, like, regular, I guess, just uh, uh, human mannerisms, or like, I forgot what's the word for that, because my brain is absolutely taking a shit. But they're disregarding any, like, human decency. That's the word. Um,
Hmm.
and they're taking all the products, and the very next day, the little Timmy is not allowed. He can't get any Pokemon product. And although there's other ways to get Pokemon product, maybe little Timmy cannot get Pokemon product. So it's heavily dependent on how much damage they cause, because I certainly don't think a person that buys 1 box from Target and decides to sell it online for whatever, for the same price everybody else is selling online for a profit, I guess. I don't think that should technically be considered a scalper. But I think that would fall more under flipper. So
Yeah.
I think scalper needs definitely a definition change in a way. I feel like
Hmm.
scalpers should be, how much they take, what the
Yeah.
damage they cause, the just how much profit they're making as well, in which time period they are selling that product from, in that
Hmm.
product for. For example, if they buy 10 boxes at a store, and then the very next day they flip them online, that is technically a scalper. That's completely a scalper. But then it goes into
Yeah.
that gray area of, okay, when does it start? How many boxes are considered a scalper? So that is where you can never really have a definitive answer to that. Like, if somebody
Hmm.
buys 4 boxes and flips them for double the price online, are are they not a scalper? But if somebody does 5 boxes and flips them online, are they a scalper? So it's like nobody
Yeah.
freaking knows. And I think it just boils down to just being respectful, taking a moderate amount. Don't go too overboard, and maybe just don't sell it automatically. I guess. I
Yeah.
think that's where the contention happens. But at a certain point, I guess you could even call anyone scalpers. I mean, distributors could even be called scalpers
Technically.
under its definition. So it is.
Yeah.
It's an interesting topic that I always think about, or always have this marinating. But I think it just comes down to the way the person acts, because I feel like majority of the scalpers get a bad rep for how they act. Like they get into fights, they're like they act like absolute lunatics.
Yeah.
And if scalpers were just like these, like tall men with black suits who are just standing in line patiently and just, I guess, getting 5 per person, I don't think anybody would have a problem with it. So I think it's just a mixture of a lot of different things. But yeah, that's my little tangent there.
Yeah. No, that's fine. That you're entitled to that. I mean, a lot of people think the same way, and it's like little Timmy isn't able to get that card or that box. Maybe little Timmy did really good in grades, and he's not a good student sometimes, but he did really good. So his parents are like, okay, we'll treat you to a box of Pokemon cards, little Timmy. That sounds like a great idea. And then they go to the store, nothing's gone, and the parents like, oh shoot, I still want to do this for my kid. Let me look at eBay, and then they see the price that it's selling for $100, and like, oh no, this is a lot more expensive than I thought. Maybe this isn't the card game for little Timmy. Maybe this isn't the hobby for him. Maybe we should get him into video games or something else. And it's just, it sucks. And forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, it's taking like that buy low, sell high ideology, but to an extreme. Like if you're buying, if you drop $1,000 on this Black Friday, if you dropped $1,000 on this Black Friday and bought, let's see, it'd be 500. No, that'd be 50. Let's say you bought 50 of the $20 Target ETBs. I think my math is right. Let me double check it real quick. I should be able to do basic math. 50 times 20, 1,000. And you bought 50 of them, and then you're selling them for market value, which is 60 or maybe 70 if it's an older set. You've already tripled the amount. You tripled your rate of your return. You've already done that, and it's just like, that's crazy. Like it's just taking that to an extreme. And and I saw something about Pokémon, I think is his name. And he was talking. He did a little report on a new 151 product that's coming out in February.
Yeah.
And he was like, scalpers, get ready. This is only making 151 $5 a pack, and then you buy 10 of these, and then open them all that night, and then sell all the packs for $10 a pop. You've already doubled your money. Good job for you. And it's just it's already become part of the community, or a prevalent factor in the community. And sometimes I feel like it just deters people away from it, and it's kind of sucks.
No, it really does. A lot. It's very frowned upon. It is damaging a lot of people. I feel sorry for them. I really do. Like at the end of the day, it's causing people to get out of the hobby. It's causing little Timmy to cry himself to sleep. Yeah. So it's unfortunate, man. It's getting cringe. I think if people want to stop this issue again, they just have to go to Target. Let Target fix it. That's a simple issue. Just do not let those people check out. That's pretty much all you have to do. Maybe it's still gonna happen online, as we saw. Me and you both had it in our carts a couple dozen times, but that's a part of our hobby, man. That's literally a part of our hobby. And I said this again, like the one way to say, or almost hint that there's a Pokemon boom happening is when scalpers get interested again. So when scalpers suddenly get interested again, something is happening. They're like the first sign of the great awakening.
Yes. I was literally going to talk about that right now, how I feel like, and this is just me, but after the summer, once autumn started rolling around, Pokemon was gaining a lot of traction, and it's gaining a lot of steam. And I don't know if it's obviously I know it's happening, but I don't know obviously if I'm noticing more because I'm more in the space now, but it's gaining a lot of traction. And and when it started with me was like Surging Sparks release, right? Like that was kind of bam, like the boom moment. Whereas, you know, you have Pikachus that are now going for $500 on eBay raw. And it's like, what? Or actually, no, it would have been Twilight Masquerade, where you had the Greninja, right? And the Greninja, bam, Greninja automatically goes up to $300. Everyone's like, bro, what? This is crazy. Are we onto something? And then Stellar Crown comes out. It's okay. It's a decent set. And then well, dang it, I literally Surging Sparks comes out, and it's like, bam, you have a $500 Pikachu out of the box, and everyone's like, bro, what the heck is happening? And then you see a bunch of accounts starting up, and a bunch of people are getting followers, and it's great for a little account like me. You know, I gained like 500 followers in the span of like 3 months, like, or 2 months on Instagram, and or no, a month. I gained 500 followers in a month, and which for me, it's good. I mean, I've never done anything on social media, but it's just like bam, bam, boom, boom, boom. All these things are happening, and then we see all the sets that are going to be releasing. We have the new Prismatic Evolution coming out. Then we have the Japanese version of the owner's Pokemon set just was announced today. And we have the Team Rocket, and we have the 30th anniversary, and we have all this stuff just like lined up for 2025. That's like, seems like, oh my goodness, like everyone's on this Pokemon high. And what happened? And right now the event is Black Friday, and it's like bam, like all this stuff. So people are just super hyped about it. People are getting into it again, or trying to get their profit into it again, and it's crazy. And yeah, so the next thing I think is Prismatic Evolution, and my game store was doing pre-orders for it. I was late on that, obviously, because it was overhyped and people got into it early. And I think they're going to do another wave soon, but that's the next thing that I'm trying to look into to get that little ticket, you know, that little slip. But it's crazy.
Yeah, I got a few Prismatic Evolutions orders. I don't know how much. I got a little bit from every different store I could find that was selling it. I'm glad I got at least 2 Pokemon Center ETBs. So that's a big dub.
That's lucky.
I'm surprised I got that, but yeah, I didn't expect it. Just suddenly came out of nowhere. Like this huge boom, this I guess perfect wave of like hype demand. Like Surging Sparks, like good God, it's $200 a box. Even though it came out like 3 weeks ago, it's turning very eerily similar to 2021. And man, I don't think it's gonna end anytime soon. I feel like we have a good year left of this shit. It's definitely gonna end. Everything ends at a certain point.
Yeah.
Everything cyclical. Good, everything bad, everything ends at a certain point, and it always recycles or always goes into a loop, I should say. So, it's definitely going to be a very interesting next year or even couple of years. I don't know. A lot of people are suspecting that it's going to continue for a couple of years. I think it's more going to be like a year. Crazy. If it's 2 years, that'll be crazy. But I think more realistic is at least a year to maybe a little over the Team Rocket release. So, it's going to be very interesting to see how things progress.
And it's fun. Obviously, you've been in the space more than me, or longer than me. But it's fun for me because it's like I got in on the right time. Like I got in right before everyone else was getting in. So I have like some stuff that is like I know a little bit more of what I'm doing than all these other people. But it's exciting. It's all happening so fast, like you said. Like it's crazy that it's happening so fast, but at the same time, it's super fun and super enjoyable, and it's going to be a ride. It's going to be a heck of a ride.
Definitely.
It's definitely going to be fun. And Christmas season too. I know this Christmas season, I'm asking for a couple items, but one of the big items I ask for is just get me Pokemon, sealed Pokemon. I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
It can be, it could be 151. It can be Obsidian Flames. It could be whatever. I don't even care what it is. Just get me sealed Pokemon because I know that this is going to be, I'm going to keep it sealed, maybe open some stuff, but just keep it up and just keep running it up from there.
It's great.
Yeah, it's definitely a fun hobby. Speaking of Pokemon, something I like to ask everyone that I interview: what's your favorite Pokemon?
Mew. Mew is my favorite. Yep.
You got any Bubble Mews?
No, I do not have a Bubble Mew. I wish I did. It was very cheap at one point, and now it's just freaking tripled the price, which is just fantastic.
Yeah.
But nope, I do not have a Bubble Mew, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But
But
the Japanese, I think, is pretty inexpensive. So
Mhm.
maybe I'll get the Japanese version. It's way better
Yeah.
texture too.
Yeah. I was just asking, but yeah, Mew, cool. That's my favorite is Slowpoke. I got my. This is
Slowpoke,
actually
hell
my
yeah.
favorite. Yeah, that's my favorite Slowpoke card right there. It's my boy.
Oh,
It's in a,
my man.
yeah. It's card prison worthy. Hopefully, maybe.
Oh,
I don't
I think it is.
But yeah, that's really cool. Mew is definitely a keeper, a good Pokemon. Very expensive Pokemon sometimes, but very good Pokemon.
Very.
Very.
I want to get that
Cool.
Gold Star Mew for sure. At one
Gold
point.
Star. Oh yeah. Keep that in mind. Maybe I can pick one up for you sometime and send us something. I'll ask this question. It just came to my mind. So are you trying to become like a Dragon Shield or like a Ultra Pro or something like that? Like, is that your vision for Card Prison? Or what is your vision for Card Prison in the next maybe 5 years?
I think I'm not too sure. I think not necessarily like a Dragon Shield Ultra Pro, because I feel like they're a more corporate type of deal.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of want to be this almost like Gucci of the binder kind of space, I guess. Some very nice high quality, very prevalent, and just something people know that is unique and just nice. So not necessarily, the same as like Ultra Pro or Dragon Shield. I want to be as popular like them, of course. But the whole concept, yeah, I want to be like more of a high quality, more unique version, I guess. That's kind of like the plan.
Like a high end.
Yeah.
That's cool. I actually really like that, and I don't think that there's a lot of people. I don't know anyone else besides Card Prison that's doing that. That's really cool.
Yeah, there's not a lot of people who do that.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Or like that binder for those people that aren't super big Pokemon people like me or you. But maybe they're some person that really likes Pokemon, or like they're someone that has a collection worth millions of dollars. But they don't want to just put it in Ultra Pro. They want to put it in something that's nice, something that came quality. I see that like the white binder, because you have that gold zipper. So seeing that maybe on like a yacht in Dubai, and then you got this like Saudi prince or this laptop millionaire who's just like, oh yeah, this is my Card Prison. This is what we got here. Unzips it. It's like super epic, and then it's just like 20 PSA 10 Charizards or 20
the freaking light just comes out of it.
Yeah. It's like a Bible.
I'm like, oh, it's like angelic music starts playing immediately.
Yeah. This is our Poncho page. Yeah, that'd be sick.
Yeah, exactly. The Poncho Pikachus are just insanely expensive. Holy hell.
Yeah.
Man. But yeah, that's the plan.
That's so sick. Yeah, I could definitely see that in the future. And that's really cool.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. We're getting a little long here, so I'll do some few things, wrap it up, and if you have anything to say.
Sure.
We talked a lot about obviously scaling, starting a business, starting and us as like young entrepreneurs, as I like to say, I feel like it's something that's a lot more accessible to us now, or accessible to like people nowadays, like young people in high school that don't really know what they want to do, but they want to make money. There's the internet, they can do it. My two questions. One, what was the time that you like kind of realized that, where you're like, oh, I kind of want to do something. I want to think outside the box. I want to create something that's bigger than myself and become like a business owner. And two, what would be your tips, your advice for people that are undetermined yet or want to start something, but they don't know how to start?
Well, man, I always kind of felt that I wanted to do something big. Not too sure when it started. Everything's kind of a blur at that point, but I always kind of had like this, vision of just doing something, either that, writing novels or, being, successful. But in general, I not only just wanted to be successful, I just wanted to be, like happy with what I'm doing, because I think if you're truly happy with what you do, even if you're not, if you don't fit the textbook definition of what success is, I feel like
Hmm.
happiness is definitely contentment is success on its own. So
Hmm.
I always strive to, feel happy, feel passionate with what I'm doing. And
Yeah.
I feel like success would almost like come if I find that thing. I think that's what
Sure.
genuine
Yeah.
success is. But I always felt like doing something creative. I come from a very creative family with my
As well.
mom and my sister. They just they taught me a lot. So yeah, I always kind of had this vision of doing something, just being happy, feeling content. And I'm really glad that I was able to find like multiple passions that I could pursue, and perhaps even be not only content but also success. Get
Yeah.
make a living off of it.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, that's pretty much how I've always kind of felt that in a way. But to kind of like my own tips for like the individuals who are like contemplating whether to start or not. Again, as I said, like you will never be good the first moment you try something. That's the beauty of it. If everything came easily, then you know what, succeeding won't feel good. So I
Hmm.
feel like the fact that something is hard shouldn't be a deterrent. It should actually just be fuel to keep pursuing that, because there's nothing more better than to have an unachievable vision, or to have
Hmm.
people who say you cannot do something. I feel like that should only be fuel. And I feel if you are, depressed about it and you let it affect you, I don't think you want it enough. I think
Yeah.
you need to kind of push forward and keep pursuing your passions no matter what it takes. And I think, again, you just strive to make mistakes. Mistakes is essential to become successful. And
Hmm.
that is pretty much my key. Just keep start somewhere, make mistakes while you're doing it, learn from them,
Yeah.
keep pursuing your passion, and just don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to start. Don't be afraid to end. Just don't be afraid to do any of it. Just don't think about it. Just do. Just do it,
Yeah.
as the Nike slogan says. Pretty
Sure. I
much.
said that on my first podcast episode. Yeah, just do it. Is
Yeah,
just like
exactly.
they say the exact same thing. It's like you just got to start with it, and that's 100% true. And um, for all was journey, and I feel like for me, happiness is found in that journey. It's
Hmm.
found in the people, especially in this community too. It's like found in the people that you meet, found in the conventions that we go to, the memories that we make,
Exactly.
the cards that we trade for. I mean, heck, that's what the card game is about, right? Or what it was at its core, trading with your friends. I always think about like, yeah, it's professional, it's a business, but I want to take it back to me in the second grade in the sandbox or on the playground with with my friends, just opening our little cheap Target binders and trading. Oh, you got an EX? That's crazy. Let me trade you my Charizard EX for this super beat up I don't know, whatever it is, like the super beat up Blastoise, or sure, or battling with no energies, or doing like
Mhm.
just having like fun with it, or just bringing it back to those good old days. But I should just begin, just do it. And
Yeah.
do you have any closing thoughts before we wrap it up?
My closing thoughts is, boys, girls, whoever's listening, again, like you said, just do it. Don't be afraid to start. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Again, it is the journey. Relish the
Yeah.
journey, because um you cannot expect to, suddenly teleport from the beginning to the end. There always has to
Hmm.
be a middle where you start with. And I think that middle sometimes is the most important, although, as much as cliche that is, but I think it's cliche for a reason. I think
Hmm.
most people say that for a reason, and it's because it's true. It holds a lot of value. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's my like pretty much finishing words.
All right, cool. I do have a request because I have seen you have a podcast as well.
Yep.
Before we close out and where people can find you and all that stuff. And you do this post. And I was wondering if we could. I'm gonna do a thumb. I think I'm gonna try to do a thumbnail for this one, for the first one. The first
Yeah.
one I do a thumbnail on because someone told me that it attracts more people. So I was like, okay, sure, I'll try it. So if you just like want to do it and hold it for like a little bit and just. Then we'll just all right. That's perfect. I just needed that for 5 seconds to take a screenshot, and then perfect. All right. Where can people find you? And then I'll let you go.
You can find me at my YouTube channel, Roc Sandy. If you want to listen to the podcast that I regularly have with the boys, you could go to the Critical Hit Podcast. And you probably will see me somewhere in the comments section or on somebody else's podcast later down the road. I don't know, but just type my name in, you'll find me somewhere. I am always watching.
Card Prison as well. They have
Card Prison as well.
Great Brides, cardprison.com. All right, cool. Well, thank you, Roc Sandy. Obviously we'll keep in touch. Got to send you those ideas. But thank you for coming on, and I hope everyone have a good night, good evening, good morning whenever you're watching this, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time, guys.
See you.